evening, everybody. I'm Jen Litchfield. I'm the president of the board of the Booth Bay Region Art Foundation, and I'd like to welcome everybody here tonight to the 8th annual Maine Photography Show.
Hi, I am Bruce Burnham. I am the chairman of the 2013 edition of the Maine Photography Show. Welcome! We're very lucky to have Tony Sweet of Maryland as our juror this year of the 2013 edition of the Maine Photography Show.
Well, what I know about Tony is he first was a jazz musician. He played the drums. He later changed his career to fine art, nature, and flower photography. Tony is up on all of digital photography today. How we got him to come to be a juror for our Maine Photography Show this year, our camera club had him as a lecturer doing digital photography in the 21st century. At that, Steve Dunn, another member of the Maine Photography Show, and I looked at each other and thought he would be great to have as a juror for our show. So we simply went up to him that day and asked him, and he said yes, no hesitation, right off, and said he would do it. That's the kind of guy he is. He's really loves to teach, loves to help people out, and willing to do anything. He does a lot of nature and fine art flower photography. He uses a lot of different filters. He's really up on technique. I mean, he does a lot with even iPhone photography now, and he uses a lot of apps for that. I guess it's the way he teaches. He's very enthusiastic about the way he teaches. Every year, a bunch of us go to Acadia in the fall, and Tony always has a workshop there, and we always bump into him, and he's so go, go, go. He's on the go all the time, always looking for new places to take his workshops, to find a different location. Even though he goes to Acadia every year, there's always something new. I know that he uses a lot of Nik filters, and there are a lot of different filters and that Nik provides, and he's the guru on them. There's like a black and white silver effects that you can change your color images very easily using these filters into black and white images with different sliders, different, if you want to highlight a different area, you can do that so simply. And there's also color effects Pro, there's Define, and you can also, there's just so many different filters to help with your creativity with your photography that he does. And he talks about it a lot in his books, in his blog. You can go to his website, tonysweet.com, and you can get a lot of information from Tony. He talks about a lot of the workshop that he's been on. It lists all his workshops, and you can sign up through that. It tells you where to go to sign up for his workshops.
Hi, Tony Sweet here, and I'm going to answer a few questions on my my computer video camera. Sorry, that's all that I have available right now on the MPS images that are pretty great overall. You know, it was a pretty interesting bunch of images to look over, and of course picked up some tips from you guys. Thank you very much. I think Maine's fantastic. I wish I lived closer. I think it's the greatest coast on the East Coast. We go there every year, if I can manage it more than once a year. But it's just spectacular, and I love it. What else can I say?
It's incredible how this show has grown over the years. We started with basically 300 photographic entries, and now it's up over 800 for the last couple of years. And believe me, if you wonder why the juror has a hard time and yours didn't get picked or something like that, it's a monumental task. And I think this is a wonderful show. Everybody here has done a tremendous job presenting their images. We love doing it. 8 years ago, a gentleman by the name of Jim Taliana called me because he'd heard that I'd done some photography competitions across the state and organized them, and he had an idea for this show. And Jim was a very unique person.
Jim is the originator of the Maine Photography Show.
He passed away in November.
Extremely good artist from any kind of medium. That was his forte. He had an advertising background. When he came to Boothbay, he immediately sought out a venue to show his work and became ignited with the philosophy of the Boothbay Region Art Foundation and how we represent all mediums of art.
We started working on the show 14 months ago. I had brought it up to the board of directors at the Boothbay Region Art Foundation a number of times, and last year it stuck. Yeah, they liked the idea and said I can proceed.
With Jim's guidance and the original chairman, the Maine Photography Show was launched. First 3 years we were in the Boothbay Opera House, 2 years at the Boothbay Railway Museum. We moved the Maine Photography Show to this building, and again, Jim was a lot of credit for that.
I didn't know quite what to say, and then this idea crossed my mind. Jim seldom used the one-letter word I, because it was never about Jim. So, my tribute to Jim I will call the I of Jim Taliana. All these words describe him. Impressive. Imaginative. Indispensable. Iconic. Illuminating. Illustrator. Illustrious. Immense. Impartial. Impassioned. Improver, improviser, inclusive, incomparable, indomitable, inexhaustible, industrious, ingenious, influential, inspired, and inspirational. Instinctive, intelligent, intriguing, intuitive, innovative, and with incredible integrity. Most of all, out of all the words beginning with I, this word best describes Jim. Jim is irreplaceable and always will be. I know that I'm personally a better person for knowing Jim. Thank you, Jim, for creating this wonderful venue for us photographers. This is Jim's wife, Gloria.
You were exactly right. The descriptor was perfect. That was Jim.
Thank you.
We publish a catalog or a book of all the images, including those from the committee and all of the images from the entrance, who are accepted. And this year, of course, in honor of Jim Taliana, we'll have a special section for Jim.
This is the 4th year we've done the book. And the first year, the committee chose the image, but we didn't really think that to call it anything. But now, each year, we go through all the images that are chosen, and we call it the committee award. And from this point forward, that's what it's going to be. And this year's committee award goes to Russell Karen of Biddeford, Maine, for the photography show book of 2013. There's a complimentary copy. Let's move right into what everybody's been waiting for. This is Ken Jones, and he is the current president of the Capital Area Camera Club, located in the Augusta area. And Ken's club each year has sponsored the Total Student Awards category. So Ken.
The students did great. I thought the work was right in line with the other work for the most part. I mean, being a student, you're going through a learning process, so things that you may have missed, you pick up later as you mature. But overall, the work was very impressive.
I'm Kim Bonarigo, mother of Grace Bonarigo. She has entered a picture of some trees. She is 12 years old. This picture was inspired from looking outside of our home. We have beautiful sunsets, and I told her that I would love to have a book of all the beautiful sunset pictures that she's taken. So this is one of those pictures.
I'm Mikaeus Biusus' grandmother Betty, and he did a photograph a few months ago, a farm on the middle road, after we'd had a big snowstorm. We went out shooting. He does a pretty good job. He's only 11, and he's very interested in photography. He goes to camera meetings with me, and he works on his own work. It's very important for him to know how to do it. And he giggles when he works on his stuff, because it, like magic, appears. Oh, look, Mimi. Wow, I like that, you know, because he's doing it himself. And that's important.
I'm Haley Greenleaf. I'm from Booth Bay, Maine. My picture is the Irish teapot. I'm 12. When I was 8 years old, we went to Ireland, and I took the picture, and now I got in the shower.
Well, my name is Gwen Pash. I'm from here, Booth Bay, and my piece is called Tears of the Sun. I took it during the summer, and I was just outside taking pictures of all the droplets on the grass and the flowers and on a spider web, and it was just kind of an offhand picture that turned out really well.
I'm Haley Lewis. I'm from Southburg, Maine, and my picture is tugboats. I took it in Portsmouth about 2-3 years ago, and it was just something that was like kind of a lucky shot, really hard to get, and I kind of sold it, and now I'm here.
Hi, my name is Emmeline Waldron. I'm from South Thomaston, Maine, and my piece is called Transition. It was taken in the summer and not in the fall as it might look, and I was able to manipulate that on Photoshop. I really like darkroom photography, though my piece was taken in digital. Last year I was fortunate enough to take a darkroom course at my school, and this year I'm taking a digital course. I go to Oceanside High School in Rockland, Maine.
The 2013 Maine Photography Show, student category, honorable mention, Olivia Jernigan, Through a Cloud of Darkness. Third place, Yan Mei McElhaney. Sophie, 2012. Good job. Second place, Elena Lautzen, Gulliver's Travels. First place, Emmeline Waldron, Transition.
Thank you, everyone. Come right up.
Don't be shy, girl.
Come right up. Stand right up there. People can't see.
Oh, geez, I don't really know what to say. I guess I'm just really happy I won. I'm excited. I don't know. Thank you very much.
Great. Thank you, Kathy.
Special theme was trees. Well, obviously trees are everyone's favorite subject because they're fantastic. And I think I submitted one to be put in the catalog that you will see. It's got a great shape, it's very round, and we look for that. The graphic design of trees are spectacular and myriad, and that's why many of us seek those out, you know.
I'm Sid Alberg, and I am from Brunswick. The name of my piece is Happenstance, Central Park. I took tons and tons of pictures all over New York City, and that particular tree intrigued me enough that I started fooling around with it and trying to figure out what some other message from the tree than just the tree in the park.
I'm Ruth Barnett, and I am from Thomaston, Maine. This year the photograph that I have entered is called Autumn Birch Grove, which I guess rather explains what it is. It's an abstract of birch trees. I love living in New England, if only for the birch trees. We didn't have those down south.
My name is Alan Borer. I'm from Cape Elizabeth, Maine. The title of my image is Apple Orchard in Fall. The site was Gorham, New Hampshire, on a very foggy morning. It's an image to me that is, for a fog scene, very warm and very pleasant.
My name is Cushman Bruniger, and I summer in Southport, Maine, and my piece is called The Winter Solstice. I took the photograph on December 23rd, played around with it in Photoshop, and came up with the kind of the black hole effect, and just really thought it popped.
Hey, my name is Paula Cannon. I'm from Belfast, Maine, and my piece is untitled. It happens to be a kaleidoscope of tree bark.
My name is Russell Caron. I'm a wedding photographer from Biddeford, Maine, and the name of my piece is Fall into Winter. It was taken on a complete whim. I was actually driving for an errand on October 30th of 2011, the day we had quite the little early winter storm as autumn was just finishing. Happened to have a camera and a lens with me and went to a favorite spot in Saco, Maine, and saw the image and just knew that I had to have it.
I'm Kathleen Clemens. My image is called Golden Rain. It's a shot I took in Harpswell. What attracted me to the scene was the contrast between the foggy day and the gold in the leaves of the trees.
My name is Bob Crink. I live in Edgecombe, Maine. This is my first time being admitted or exhibited in the show. The piece is called Stormy Tree. The tree is 2 inches high and 4 inches wide. It's a sculpture of a tree that's in my bathroom. And I went out and there set the tree on a ladder, set my camera on a tripod at f/22 and shot the pictures of it.
I'm Jane Davis and I'm from Wayne, Maine. And the piece I'm hanging in the show is a montage. It was taken at Pretty Marsh on Mount Desert Island. It's a sunset of trees, and it's composed of 2 different images. One of the sun coming through the trees in an abstract manner, and then I sandwiched another image of golden beech leaves on top.
My name is Peter Felsenthal. I live on Barger's Island. The piece is called Cottonwood Shield, and it's a picture of a ranch in southern central Colorado. The ranch is a Nature Conservancy property, and they take on guests.
I'm Dan Hudson, and my entry this year is Maple Reflection. I was trying to find something about a tree that didn't show a tree. So I decided to shoot a maple leaf. I suspended it so it was hanging in the air, backlit and front lit, because I wanted to see the structure of the leaf as well as the surface of the leaf. And if you read the write-up I've got on it, it'll talk about the different reflections that show up in the leaf. How it reflects the structure of the tree and the fractal nature of nature and things like that, which I thought of after I shot it. I shot it because it was pretty. It's all this arty frou-frou stuff. I came out later.
Hi, my name is Eric Johnson. I live in Harpswell with my wife Holly, and my submission this year, I don't have a name for it, but it was taken at Poland Springs Resort, so I'm calling it Poland Spring. And it's was taken directly behind the main building at the resort next to the All Souls Chapel, and I broke one of the cardinal rules. It was taken at about midday.
I am Garrett Cloden. I am a summer resident. The name of the piece is Stretched to See the Forest from the Trees. It's a very peaceful spot that I go to very often.
I'm Marion Marks, and my image is Mammoth Hot Springs in Yellowstone. And I had the luck to be there on a very misty evening, and I was walking with a friend, and I noticed just how wonderful the hot springs looked with the seemingly death all around. But really, all of what appears to be flowing is living organisms in the hot springs. And I wanted an image that somehow captured the life amidst the death. And so I was very lucky to get that shot.
I'm Tony Marpo. I'm from Whitefield. My photograph is Carter Dome, and I like to winter hike. And we went up there in April, and the snow was unbelievably deep. And just like the view up there, and then there were a couple of spruces that were bent over with snow and ice. So.
My name is Marie Pierce. I'm from Augusta, Maine. I'm originally from Canada. That's where the accent comes from. My photo that got picked to be in the show is Glorious Trees, and it's a fall scene. I took that at Sugarloaf on a mountain road in 2010.
My name is Eric Pesquira. I'm from South Portland, Maine. My image is called Arbre Stoique, French for stoic tree. It's shot on Crescent Beach. It's this lonely little tree at the end of the beach, and I was out there with my father-in-law's Nikon F2, shot it on film, and I liked how it came out.
My name is Dick Sawyer, and I'm from Scarborough, Maine. And the piece that has been submitted is called Three of a Kind. It literally was across the street from our house. And that's how I saw the image, saw the moment, and made it.
My name is Richard Veet. My photograph, and it's named Tuileries Gardens. My wife and I were in Paris, France a year or so ago. Anyway, I was walking out of the Tuileries into this very bright white space, and it got real hot. And I thought, what a nice spot that would be to go sit.
Trees, especially winter trees, are fascinating because they're open. There's no leaves. None of them are leafed out. It's just all like geographic, you know, and put against a great background or a tremendous sky or something. Single trees speak, to standing against the elements. It's got a very lyrical feel to it. Actually, back when stock photography was a viable source of income, one of the most requested images for stock worldwide was a single tree. So that's why all of us have an eye out all the time for a single tree open against the sky. Just very, very beautiful.
Next is our assigned category, trees. And that whole category has been sponsored by the Portland Camera Club. And I'd like to invite the president of the Portland Camera Club and committee member Sandra Westcott.
Check us out at portlandcameraclub.org. If anybody would like to join our club, that's where you'll find all the information. Okay, 2013 Maine Photography Show for assigned category trees with honorable mention goes to Bob Crink for Stormy Tree. Okay, in third place is Leslie Inman, Portals number 13. In second place, Kathleen Clemens, Golden Rain. In first place, Patricia Tackett, Lonesome.
My response to imagery is visceral. It's not intellectual at all. I don't care what's placed where the horizon line is. I don't care about anything. When I look at an image, it's a matter of just how it hits me viscerally, like, inside, that doesn't really care about what rules are followed or not followed or God knows what else, But it's the overall visual impact and the way that it hits me emotionally. That's all that matters to me. Now, when you judge one of these contests, you tend to get a little more specific and a little more rule-oriented. It's because you want to be able to have some sort of criterion or criteria upon which to judge. But in general, what I look for in imagery is I look for nothing. It's a matter of just how it hits me. And then once I'm affected by an image, then I'll look at the image more intellectually. Why do I like this so much? And why does this work? But the overall impression is instant, and it's visceral.
So my name's Charlie Wittes. I'm from Gorham, Maine. My piece this year is called A Rough Future Ahead, and it's actually titled that way because about 15 minutes after I took the shot, I had to go running from my car because a torrential downpour and thunderstorm came rolling through. So hence the title was kind of appropriate because it was pretty rough after that.
My name is Mo Chen. I'm from Scarborough, Maine. The title of my image is Sand Beach Nights because it is an image of Sand Beach at night. One of the great things about Acadia is they do try to preserve the night skies. So is one of the darkest places on the East Coast, and of course combine that with the beautiful imagery or the beautiful scenery, makes for some very dramatic shots that I was able to capture from Sand Beach.
I'm Judith Long. I live in Brunswick, and the name of my piece is Charlotte, Finding Monk. And Charlotte is a little town in North Carolina where I found Monk. Monk appeared to me on a discarded double door of a lunch truck, and it was stainless steel with a metal frame around it. One of the doors was missing, the other stainless steel was quite bright, and it reflected the world around it. And in looking at that reflection, I found the typical monk scream, plus a lot of other things.
Hi, my name is Donald May, mostly Maine photography. I live in Saco, Maine, and my piece this year is Golden Dawn. It's a sunrise on Portland Head Light. And it just impressed me when I saw it. Beautiful spot, beautiful morning.
Zoe Taberge, Harpswell, Maine. My image is the granite path to the shed, and it is a montage. It was taken in Deer Isle at a secret spot.
I'm Elizabeth Blackmer. I live in Tennant's Harbor, and my image is Harmony, and this photograph is of frost patterns on a window in winter.
My name is Dan Dow, and I'm from Cumberland Center, Maine, and the photograph that I've entered this year is an abandoned farmhouse on an island off the coast of Galway, Ireland. The island is Inishmore. And
my name is Steve Fabricius. I'm from Cape Elizabeth, Maine. The image is a shot of Portland Head Light taken late one evening. It's a 2-hour exposure composed of 43-minute shots combined in Photoshop.
Hi, my name is Susan Grant. I'm dropping a photo off for Scott Grant. He's my husband, and Scott is from Westbrook, Maine. The picture taken in Wells, Maine, right at the beach. A gentleman that he did not know, he was just there, and he was indeed trying to dig worms.
My name is Peter Imber. I'm from Canton, Maine, and my photograph is called Rodeo Boys. I took it when my wife and I were actually traveling cross-country and moving here in 2010, and I said to my wife afterward when I looked at the picture, I said, I don't think I'm going to take another picture this good the whole trip, and I don't think I did.
My name's Claude Bergeron, and the title of my piece is Quiet Focus. It was taken last April in Central Park in the Conservatory Garden. My wife was relaxing with a nice book on a bench while I was wandering around for an hour taking different pictures. Then at some point I saw an opportunity for a very interesting shot. Really enjoy it. I think at this point it's my signature piece.
I'm here representing my husband Richard Barnett. His photograph is called Millennium Park. It's from the fountains in Chicago's Millennium Park. The day we were there, it was about 100 degrees, and the fountains are the only thing that make it livable. A lot of children jumping in them. We waded through them a few times. It's a wonderful place to photograph, a wonderful place to be.
My name is Dave Cleveland. I'm from Wiscasset. The piece I brought this year is called Early Morning. It's a long exposure of a lobster boat right here in Booth Bay Harbor. The interesting thing about the image is the fact that it's about a 4-second exposure, which was very difficult because you can actually see the lobsterman moving in the image. And to get a sharp image with that movement over 4 seconds wasn't easy.
My name's Ella Hudson. I'm from Portland, Maine, and my image this year is entitled Moss Cloaked. It's an image taken in the Hoh Rainforest in the Olympic Peninsula, and it was truly amazing having to deal with the challenges of a rainforest such as rain and gushy everything everywhere type of stuff. Finding something that you could really capture that's indicative of the area, to give you a sense of how lush a rainforest is without a wide shot, which wouldn't really capture it anyway.
My name is Ned Robbins. My submission is called Jellyfish Invasion. End of May last year, the whole bay, Winnegans Bay down in Fitchburg, Maine, was full of jellyfish, and I stood out on the ramp that would normally go to my float, which wasn't launched yet, and took pictures of the jellyfish. That's about it, I guess.
For the color category, these awards The first two, the honorable mention and the third place, are sponsored by McSiegel's Restaurant. Honorable mention, Knee Wrong in America, Winter, #1. Third place, Denise Wood, Abandoned. The next award is sponsored by Booth Bay Boat Sales, and second place, Al Spencer, Waiting for Summer. And I haven't seen Al either. First place is supported by Laddie Drucker. Laddie is a member of our board here and has supported the photography show every year with a first place award. And first place in color category goes to Richard Morin for Iced Daisy.
Hi, I'm Barbara Toby. I'm from South China, Maine. My image is Tulips of Spring. I love tulips. Just put them in this vase, and lighting was beautiful, and I just loved it. I shot it in color and then converted some to black and white. And they're just beautiful images, so I hope you enjoy.
My name is Brenda Geisen, and I'm from Lewiston. And the name of my piece is Snowy Morning, which is a piece that was the first fallen snow in the spring. So you have the water that's reflecting all of the snow, and it's kind of a magical thing to get up that early in the morning and catch it before the sun comes out and melts all that new fallen spring snow away. So it's kind of a magical piece for me.
My name is Charles Laurier Dufour, and I live in Belfast. And I submitted a piece called The Final Goodbye. I titled it The Final Goodbye because there's a look on her, whatever you can tell of the look on her face, because it's through fog, it's hard to tell. But this is not a happy, joyful image. And so there's an abandoned building, and a building that's falling apart, like she might feel like her life is falling apart. But even though things are ending, there's an escape route. There's that other window. Either that represents the clarity from before or afterwards, who knows, it's in the mind of the viewer, but it kind of fits in as like, this is the end, she's finally ready to move on, and that's what that piece is about.
My name is Charlie Spatz. I'm a college student in Waterville, Maine, and the photo that I have in this year's show is called Giraffe in the Mist from Ngorongoro Crater in Tanzania. So I was there studying Maasai culture and the history of the formation of the parks in Tanzania. This was very much a issue that's related to political economy and especially conservation science and how those two merge and can end up displacing people. And I think the photo is interesting to me because it is exactly what I guess the Westerner wants to see. When they're in a place like Ngorongoro Crater, they have no interest in really seeing people, but they certainly want to see the animals. But the photo really shows what we want to be there, but that's not really what perhaps is best for everyone.
Chris Bellitto, and the piece I submitted this year was entitled Swaying in the black and white category, and it's a farm scene up in Turner, Maine with laundry blowing in the wind.
I'm Corey Zacharias from Falmouth, and my piece is called Where Wizards Dwell. I wanted to give it a sort of a Harry Potterish feel, and I hope that came through.
My name is Daryl Ann Leonard, and I'm from Waterford, Maine. The piece that I entered into the show is called Spiraling. It's a black and white of a staircase. My job during the day, I work as a clinical social worker and do a lot of abuse and grief trauma work. So I often use the staircase spiral as a metaphor for my clients. And that was something that always struck me about the image. I have it hanging at my office, and so that is why I chose to enter that one.
Dave Dostey from Augusta. My piece titled Time to Rest.
Basically, I took this piece actually up in North Conway, New Hampshire. It's a delayed exposure. I feel like it really captured the essence of the train actually after a long day. It also actually captures photography as a whole as well, because you can see people in the background shooting photos. So I thought it was a great piece.
Hi, I'm Eva McDermott. My image this year is called Celestial, and it's actually an abstract of ice, bubbles under ice, taken a couple of winters ago.
I'm Herman Meisner, and I'm from Northport, and I do black and white photography. The name of the piece is Green Hill Park, and it's a place in Worcester, Massachusetts. I do film. The work was shot during a very wet and snowy day in the park.
My name is Jim Kipfer. I live in Alna, Maine. The name of my piece is Orchids. It is a platinum palladium print made in the studio with the concept of 1920s Japanese art.
Yeah, my name is Bruce Gray from Warrington, Maine. I'm dropping off a photograph of my son Jeremy, who's a third-year student at McGill University in Montreal. A piece that dropped off today is a great blue heron that was shot in Northeast Harbor. He pretty much focuses on nature, landscape photography, coastal parts of Maine, and inland mountains.
My name's Jonathan Manning from Walpole, Maine. My piece is Iris Sea in the Fog. It's the Darling Marine Center boat they use for all their research over in Walpole. I shoot a lot of landscapes and something usually to do with the sea, yes. Some kind of nautical theme most of the time.
My name's Karen Littlefield. I'm from Stillwater, Maine. The print I have today is Let's Dance. I took this during a photography workshop, and it just kind of grabbed me.
My name is Marty Hipsky, and the piece that I brought in is a black and white film-produced photo. It's titled Ancient Oak. I actually took the image in 1990. It's on Kodak infrared film. The film is not in existence anymore, so today you can only take digital infrared photos.
My name is Mike Filliot. I'm from Kennebunk, Maine. The title of my piece is a black and white piece called Broken Wave. It was taken in Biddeford Pool, and it was inspired by having just seen the Winslow Homer exhibit in Portland called Weather Beaten last fall. And I went directly from that show to the beach and happened to capture this image.
My name is Noreen Flanagan. I'm from Scarborough, Maine, and the name of my piece is Popham Horses. The photo was shot when we came for a vacation up this way. I had never been to Popham before, and I was amazed by the beauty and the fact that there were horses just running all over the beach.
Hi, my name is Pam Davis. I have an image in the show called Forks, Washington. It was taken in Washington State in Olympus National Park on a day of pouring rain. It's island stacks, which is I'd never seen, and they're just lovely. But in order to make the image printable, I had to add a texture. And so it looks like a very painterly image, which I did on canvas, and I really love the image. I don't like photographing in the pouring rain.
My name is Randy Billmeyer. I'm from Yarmouth, Maine. Been a photographer for quite a few years. And I've submitted a piece which was taken on a rainy night in Portland, Maine, as part of a photo club that I belong to, as part of a night scene subject.
My name is Respa Mitchell. I'm from Exeter. My image is Skywalker. It was through Winds of Wings. They hold our photographer's invitational. I think they do it yearly, and he was one of the birds that they brought.
I'm Sarah Beard Buckley, and I'm from Cape Elizabeth, Maine. And my image here is called The Dancers. It's basically a photograph of some young ballet dancers who are performing at a recital. It's sort of a long, slightly longer exposure, which gives it that sense of fluidity and movement.
I'm Sarah Strauss. I live in Booth Bay. The name of my piece is Orchard and Snow.
Typically of a lot of things I do, the scene makes me want to shoot it. In other words, I go, oh, and I have to shoot it. It's not a lot of preconceived idea. Yes, there's composition involved, but it's usually I have to shoot it. It's like a pair of shoes. If I have to have them, I buy them. If it's like, I don't buy them.
Our sponsors completely pay for all of our awards, so again, we appreciate them a great deal. Well, Bob and Kitty Boyd of Boothby Region Greenhouses have been supporters right from day one. We appreciate their support. Black and white category. Honorable mention, Jonathan Manning, Ira C. in the Fog. Third place is sponsored by the Blaze Hay Funeral Home. And Blaze Hay is located in Westbrook and part of Sandy's extended family, and they're nice enough to support us all the way from Westbrook. Third place goes to one of my favorite photographers, Eva McDermott for Celestial. Second place is sponsored by Boothby Region Greenhouses. Great image by Daryl Ann Leonard, Spiraling. First place is also sponsored by Boothby Region Greenhouses. This guy seems to win an award every year. He's a character. I enjoy his photography and I enjoy him. Charles Laurier Dufour for the final goodbye.
It's an abandoned building. It's an abandoned shed or garage, actually, that I had planned on showing up to shoot. And I tend to shoot at dawn because I shoot a lot of nudes, so I shoot at the break of day. And in Maine, as we all know, sun rises at 4:40 in the morning in late June, so I'm usually free of other people around. So I had planned on showing up to that building with that particular model on that morning. What I didn't plan on is when I would arrive there, that the cool morning would have created a condensation on the window. That I didn't plan, but I was pleasantly surprised. And I said, I wasn't even going to shoot that building from that side. It was from a different side I had planned on shooting from. And as I walked by and saw that, I immediately said, here's the shot. So I had her go behind that window. It's a very foggy window, as you can see. And then the other window is missing, which is great, because then there's clarity going into that building. And then there's complete fog going into the one where our human is.
What is my overall impression of the work submitted? Excellent. In a word, these are always fun to judge, and given where most of the people live up there who submitted, there was some just incredible work submitted, and it was, I did spend a lot of time. I didn't do it over several days. I kind of just made it a commitment to sit down and do it. And it took the better part of a day and a half looking through and reconsidering images. And the overall impression is outstanding. I thought the work was tremendous.
Our primary sponsor, right from the get-go, has been the First Bank. Sue Norton is going to represent the First, and she will try to sell you a CD package here. And she will be doing the Best of Show.
I am here to present the Best of Show Award, and from going forward, this will now be called the Jim Taliana Best of Show in honor of Jim. I too am an unabashed fan of Jim Taliana, and I've presented this award a few times here, and so last year I decided to turn it around and ask Jim to help me. The high school film contest, and he was a fabulous judge, and I was able to recruit a couple former students who came to judge because Coach Taliana was going to be there as well, and he was a wonderful judge, and he's also was very kind to my son, who started being an altar boy at church this year, and I think Jim got a kick out of Tim's little missteps along the way. But he was a lovely, lovely man. And this year's award goes to Mo Chen for Sand Beach Nights.
Thank you, Mo.
Choosing best of show was a difficult task. Not as difficult as usual. Some of the images just stood out as a cut above the rest, a handful, like had in the class all by themselves. And those are what I look for in the best of show. And I chose the one shot from, as I recall, from the beach in Acadia, I forget what it's called, in Acadia, shooting the rocks with the Milky Way in the background. That was spectacular. I believe it was light painted. I'm not positive about that. But, again, was it a difficult task? Yes. The bottom line, I chose the image that hit me the most emotionally. And that's how I judge these type of things.
All right, so the image is called Sand Beach Nights. It was taken in Sand Beach in Acadia National Park. One of the last remaining dark sky areas in the Northeast, if not the only remaining area. So really great message there is, it's one of the few places left in the Northeast where you can see skies like this. If you haven't seen the image, it's the Milky Way coming up over the cliffs at Sand Beach. A lot of people ask how that was taken, and it really starts 100% with the location. You can't take that picture without the right sky. So if I have a message here, it's to support the park up there and their efforts to keep the skies dark.
As many of you know, since I do this every day, I don't need to relearn much about going out and taking pictures. But when you do it seasonally, say you go out once every couple of weeks or once a month, or maybe even if you work a lot seasonally, you tend to forget, and you spend a lot of that time relearning what you've learned 10 times before. Because you don't do it. If you don't do it, you forget it. That's just human nature. But one way to keep fresh is just to keep a camera in your hands. If you're sitting around watching TV or watching a ball game, have your camera out. Look at the menus, figure your way around the camera, just feel it in your hands, and just grab some snapshots around the house. Just working with the camera at all and keeping your hands and your head in the game to any extent is a good thing. As far as you have to improve your eye and your skills, that's purely a function of doing it a lot. There's no shortcuts. You got to get out there. And with that, I'll just say, get out there. It's been a great show. It's been my pleasure and my privilege to judge such great work. And I'm sorry that I cannot be there in person because I've got to work for a living. But enjoy the show, and thank you very much again for this great privilege. Thank you.
The First has a photographic calendar contest every year, and we're still accepting submissions for the 2014 calendar. We'll be accepting submissions till July 1st. So if you go to www.thefirst.com, you can get the details on that. And we are now we have 16 branches now from Wiscasset up to Calais and Eastport, and a new branch in Bangor. So we're looking for images from all of those communities. So send them in, because we have our own little jury of folks that pick the calendar images. So we'd love to have your entries.
Next year's juror is Freeman Patterson. If you're not familiar with Freeman's work, a lot of professionals attended his workshops over the years to really learn what photography is all about, and we're excited to have Freeman. And next year's category are flowers. Next year's show, again, entries will open, of course, on December 1st, and they close on February 1st. And everything is done online. In other words, you have to download your images through your computer.
You have to send them to us with specific sizes, and those images are loaded. An entrant can enter 3 images, don't have to be all in one category, they can be spread out, and they can enter just 1 image if they choose. And the juror gets those on a hard disk, and he goes through them. This year we had 838 images for him to narrow down to a little over 100 images. And believe me, that's a very difficult task when you get such very, very good images. This year the prizes are, for first place, second place, third, and honorable mention in each category. And then, of course, we have the best of show. And one of the things about the Maine Photography Show is we accept images from only Maine photographers. They have to have a Maine address, and this makes it very unique among a lot of competitions. One of the real keys of the Maine Photography Show is we have a committee that is committed to making this the very best show in the state of Maine. And they have been on board for the last 7 years. This committee has not changed its members. They're always enthusiastic. I can ask them to do things, and I know that they will get done. And it's a whole lot of fun, and we really like to promote the art of photography.
I want to thank Leanne LaFleur, and I want to thank Sandra Westcott, Peggy Powis, Carl Jackson, Bob Darby, Norbert Leeser, Linwood Riggs, Dave Hodgson, and Steve Dunn. And a special thanks to June Campbell-Rose, who is unofficially on our committee and does a tremendous amount of work taking your money, doing your downloads, and everything else. And so give everybody a round of applause, please.
I'd like to thank Bruce Burnham, who has worked tirelessly to make this show what it is, and I'd like to thank all the members of the Maine Photography Board and all the volunteers who have put this together and worked so hard. I'd also like to thank everybody who entered the show, whether or not they were chosen, and I'd like to congratulate everybody who was chosen, whose work was selected to be hung in this really prestigious show. It's certainly a wonderful example of some of the best photography that Maine has to offer.